The father of a man killed during trouble in Birmingham has renewed his appeal for rioters to give up, calling on the young people of his area to realise their stupidity. Tariq Jahan has become a figure of courage and calm in his community after he begged local residents to stop the violence after rising tensions near his home that resulted in his son's death and the death of two other brothers. Now, we've just heard in the last few minutes that West Midlands police are saying that they have now arrested 3 more people, 2 youths and a man on suspicion of murder in this case. Very latest from Birmingham with Sky's Paul Harrison.
Birmingham's Winson Green. Culturally diverse, its predominantly black and Asian population is far from affluent. It has its share of crime, yet it's little different from many other parts of the country. But this community is, in one sense at least, remarkable. In the hours that followed the deaths of 3 young Muslim men who were simply trying to protect their businesses from the looters, the anger here was palpable. People wanted answers, they wanted justice. And a bad situation could have been a lot worse were it not for the words of one man who lives along this street. Tariq Jahan had only just learned his attempts to try to save his dying son in the street had failed when he found the courage to call for the trouble to end, a message he reinforced today.
If the people are listening, then please, for God's sake, give it up. Stop this rioting and looting for no reason. I've said this 100 times. You're not achieving anything, you know. People are losing their livelihoods, their homes. I've lost my family.
A diverse community on the edge had heeded the words and actions of a grieving father and instead stood together.
I'm mourning my son, and you lot starting up again. Why? Grow up, guys. Grow up.
Youth worker and family friend Raja Jagirda explained that such is this community. Even if you didn't know Tariq Jahan, you'd know someone who did. His words were bound to resonate.
It's hard to even imagine somebody reviving their own son and literally then him dying and then coming onto television and saying, you know what, this isn't about rioting and killing each other, but we need to be living together. And I think people just kind of seen that sheer strength within him.
Despite the piece being glued together by Tariq Jahan's words, the sadness is still raw. The brother of the 2 other young men to die wonders why the police hadn't done enough to protect them and their community.
The second one, can't even get to him because I'm giving all my time to the first one. How am I supposed to get to the second one? God has just only gave me 2 hands. And I'm losing 3 brothers as martyrs. They went martyred. And it's just naive children, they're just hanging about. Yeah, but they're just protecting their own, weren't they? The businesses, because the police couldn't do enough.
A question no doubt Birmingham's Chief Constable was asked before departing Tariq Jahan's house, having paid his respects. Chris Sims even admitted the words of one man had achieved more than the actions of an entire police force.
The intervention that he felt able to make, which was one of the most powerful, generous and far-sighted interventions that I think I've ever seen, at the moment of absolute grief and devastation, I think that was a decisive intervention in terms of Birmingham not suffering the sort of tension and violence between communities.
The violence here may well have ended, but not the despair.
For somebody to be looking after a business and then for losing their life, what more can be said? Is that the way England is? Is this the way it's supposed to be run? It's not right.
But where many cry lack of role models, it seems one has been found in Winson Green.
To the kids, if you're listening to a grey-bearded old fella that you have no respect for, then try and understand this. When you're my age, you will look back at your lives and think how stupid you were. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Paul Harrison, Sky News, Birmingham.
Lisa Dowd has the latest from Birmingham. Evening, Lisa. How's the investigation going?
Well, we've had that update, Jeremy, from police in the last few minutes. We know that the 32-year-old man who was arrested on suspicion of murder not long after these three men were killed has now been released by police on bail. But police telling us that they have arrested a further three people on suspicion of murder, a 16 and 17-year-old youth and a 26-year-old man as well. Many people gathering here today and leaving their floral tributes have been very interested in what's been going on here, really closely following the police investigation and the updates, and very impressed as well with what the family members of the victims have had to say in appealing for calm. The West Midlands Police Chief Constable had paid tribute to those family members, saying that they had had a tremendous impact in diffusing tensions here, and that also community leaders who'd been talking to youths in the area were holding tremendous sway with them, he said. And the Prime Minister himself said that this was really a model for diffusing tensions, and he'd been very impressed with what was going on. I've been speaking to people here, and they've been saying that solidarity continues tomorrow. There'll be a gathering in a nearby park here. They're expecting upwards of 500 people to come and show their respects for the three men who were killed. As well as that, with regards to the wider police operation, we saw far more trained public order officers on the streets of Birmingham last night. We're waiting to hear from police what they'll be doing this evening, whether they'll have a similar organisation in place. As well as that, they also blocked off the routes to vehicles into the inner city centre yesterday night as well, into the early hours of the morning, which seemed to have helped as well. Whether they'll do that again tonight, we don't know yet. And with regards to those three men who lost their lives, well, we now understand that their inquests are due to be opened tomorrow afternoon here in Birmingham.
Thanks very much, Lisa. And the bereaved father she was talking about, Tariq Jahan, has perhaps become the most powerful voice of reason we've heard across England in the last few days. The riots have led to some pretty gloomy assessments of the state of modern England. The Prime Minister's diagnosis is that the country isn't just broken, it's sick. Sky's Emma Hurd has been to Nottingham,